Hey, what's up, Dean? Sam Performance. We are back. Started on the Jeep Saturday, and I don't know if I think I said it's got a leak in the line. So this morning I came in, disconnected it from the proportioning valve, disconnected it from the line over there, right here, this junction where it goes to the rubber. Fought to try and get it out, and ended up breaking the line off where the hole was, and it was actually a pretty good size hole. It must have gotten hit with something, but regardless, took it all out, because it loops all the way up, across, and back in. You kind of see how it's a little bit deformed, but I ended up double flaring each side of the line. I cut it nice and cleaned the line all up on both sides, slid the threads, whatever they're called, I don't know. And this is a double flare like union, so it's not a compression union, it's a double flare union. So each line has a double flare on it. Stuck it back in, bolted it together, opened up the bleeder, and I'm not getting any fluid yet, but I might not have the bleeder open quite enough. But as of right now, there's no fluid coming through it. So I'm hoping by the morning it'll have fluid through it. I also finished up the intake pipe with the filter, and almost forgot to plug that in. So now it's got the IAT sensor hooked up. So that's on. Basically all I did was drill a hole, put a rubber grommet, and push the sensor through, so it's nice and tight. Like that's pulling on it pretty hard. You can kind of see the whole pipe moving, but that's in there. I think the only other thing was this here. Yeah, that's PCV, and I have no idea how I might just find a filter, but it's got like a little piece over there. I might just find like a filter that fits over that. I might have one. Let me go look real quick. Hold on. No, it doesn't fit. It's too small. So I have to figure that out. Because that's just wide open. I didn't even know that's there. Like, what a pain in the butt. I don't know what that goes to. I'll have to look it up or something. But other than that, I just gotta bleed the brakes, hook up those stereo wire things, which, yeah, I'll get that done. And then I just got kind of annoyed with that brake line, and I can't really bleed it unless I have somebody here, because all the bleeders I use don't work worth the crap. So I jumped back on the Magnum. I got the 4-inch 90, so I stuck that on, cut it back a little bit. I don't think I'm going to cut this side. I'm just going to leave it long because I don't care. And then all I need is like a 45 to go down. If I cut this out, which I'm thinking about cutting this out and kind of hang the filter down. Might not. It all depends. I could just use a straight. I could make a hanger to go up here. I don't know. I haven't decided on that yet, but I got the filter. I got the intake temp sensor. Then I pulled all the B&M stuff back out to do the neutral safety switch. I am going to do a neutral safety switch. It comes with one. It's in the bag under there. It comes with one in the bracket. So all of that is in here. But I also want to do reverse lights on it, which you could do on here. You stack the two switches on top of each other, and then you could see this is the reverse, this is the start and neutral. So they'll just touch each other and it bolts right here to the side. I have the other switch, should be here like today or tomorrow. The 4-speed gate is on now. That's all done. Here's all the wires. The 2 red are starter. Yellow and green are backup lights. Yellow is the power. Green feeds out to the actual light circuit, which I found finally after digging. I found in the fuse box in one of the plugs. I don't remember what plug it is, like C3 connector or something. It's black, 15-pin connector. It's a white with a light green, so that's why I use the green wire. So I just strung that green wire in. I pulled power off of the OBD port because I don't need that anymore. So that power will feed through the reverse switch, feed power out to the light circuit that goes to the back, and I believe that is for the relay in the back. I think the neutral safety switch was on the side of the transmission. When you engaged reverse, it sent 12 volts up to this fuse that then sent 12 volts to the back, which triggers a relay. I don't know how this car works. I cannot find a diagram on the relays. I can find diagrams on the fuses, but I can't find diagrams on the relays. So it's just what I assume, because it's a very small wire that feeds to the back of the car. I mean, it's literally like this wire right here. It's a very small wire. So that tells me it's got to be sending 12 volts to trigger a relay. That's fine. So I just sent 12 volts through the little neutral switch, or the little safety switch, over to that wire, send it to the back, and it should light up if I connect the two, but it's battery power, so I'm not going to connect the two. And that's pretty much it. I did work on this piece. I was going to try and redraw the whole piece, but I'm not that good. So I ended up just getting the curve. Let me see. So this piece here matches this curve. You see it lays right on top, matches it very good. So I 3D printed these basically just as little filler panels. I don't know if they're going to be right or not. I mean, they fit perfect, and one for each side. One's a little thinner than the other. So those fit in there like that, and they'll just kind of close it off around the B&M bucket piece that goes over the shifter, which probably lost that. Yeah. So I got that done. Then the yoke. This is a 4L80 yoke. I took it to the back, and the transmission I'm putting in, I slid it all the way in, and that's where the seal is. So I didn't get a chance to call today, but I'm going to call the drive shaft place tomorrow, Central Florida Drive Shaft. I only found one place, but they don't sell the part anymore, that makes a round flange that uses the 3 bolts for the normal diff, and then converts it over to almost like a Ford 8.8 flange. So like this flange here, but the smaller version. This is the bigger one, I believe. Which I'm okay with using this, but I would rather use one that's like the same size as the drive shaft I'm using, which I got to pull that out too. But so it converts it over to this, and this bolts to the round flange, and then that gives you to a normal U-joint. That part is not available to purchase, so my next idea is to order this other flange. Worst case scenario, because I actually have, that's actually an 8.8 flange right there, the smaller one. So you can see this one's just much larger. This is the smaller flange that would probably be more appropriate. You can kind of see the outline of it. So that's my idea, is I can have it machined. I mean, I could machine it on my lathe, actually, if I wanted to. I could actually make the part. But I'm going to 3D print one first. There it is. See it hiding in there? So I got an Escalade drive shaft. We're not using that one. And we're gonna use this one all the way in here. Come here. Actually, this one tapers down. I wonder if they could just swap that flange onto this one. Don't worry about that little band. I didn't measure it. I had the car up in the air once today, and I did not measure the damn thing. But I think this drive shaft will be long enough. Maybe. I don't know. I think that front section, well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I got to put it up in the air and measure it, I guess. So yeah, so I mean, it's not quite the same size as that one. See, the other thing too is these waffle rubbers have these spacers built in, which I don't really understand. So one half stick out one side, and the other half, you know, 3 of them stick out one side and 3 of them stick out the other side, and these go in those flanges. And that kind of centers them. I don't know, they call them spacers, but I guess so you can't crush the rubber down when you tighten it. That makes sense. So I could take these out. I could melt this off, take these out, and just cut them down to where they're flush with the 3-bolt flange, just to give it a little more meat in there. I don't know. I gotta deal with that. I got a lot to say. But other than that, yeah, I mean, the only thing I could do is figure out the drive shaft. I'm hoping that they'll be able to figure the length out off of this. I mean, well, technically I could figure the length out off of this because I want this to slide out a 1/2 inch. So the line will be, you know, a 1/2 inch farther up, or 3/4 of an inch, somewhere around there. So I'll know exactly where this U-joint will sit. Even in that empty case, I could slide this in and pull it out and set it to where I want it, and then I can measure from this U-joint to the other one. And actually, I think what I am going to do, now that I'm yakking, I am going to bring this flange home. Yeah, because I can get the other flange, the smaller flange I know will fit, because that's what I have on my S10. I have the small flange on there. Boo-hoo. Then I need the rubber so I can measure, or should I just bring the other half of the drive shaft? Where's that piece at? Maybe I'll just bring the other half of the drive shaft. Where you at? There it is, up there. Ow. Yeah, see, this is the rear end side. Can't remember, to be honest with you. Yeah, this is the rear end side. So it also has this little pinion bushing thing that seats on that. So I'll bring these home. This way I can measure these holes, and I'll draw that flange. Yeah, I'll draw the flange, and I'll 3D print it and see if I can bolt that to the rear end. And then basically I could even try to, just to mock it up, bolt this to my piece, maybe. Might have to drill the holes in this though, not a big deal. So yeah, that's that. So for this one, that's it. This is a wrap. I'm going home. Appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified of new videos. Leave me a comment. As always, have a good day.